good fun. Days like these are great. You get the whole industry together, and to have, companies and corporations like Interbet and Cape Racing who are so generous with sort of time and energy into making a day like this possible is it's fantastic for everyone.
The fifth race on the program is going to be run at 1 13:10, a 67 handicap over 1.4 kilometres, 1,400 metres. Race 5 on the program. Not easy to decipher who's going to win, let alone run first, second, third and fourth. But I think to start off the conversation, Raheel, number 1 is Garth Puller's horse for Messrs. Ian Robertson, Khalil, Nilia, Puller, Moses and Moses. They own this gelding, Final Destiny. Coming down in the ratings a bit from a 73 to a 62, drawn pole position. Ashton Aries gets the ride. I just like the way that he came home last time. He was 12th at the 800, 10th at the 400 and got beaten 3 lengths behind Lataba, was the fastest finishing in the race. And for me, in a very, very open race, number 1, Final Destiny at a generous price could be the one that we'll have to beat, but it's nowhere near as easy as that.
Absolutely, Warren. I'm glad you touched on Final Destiny as the first horse in this lineup, because he is a horse that I picked out to watch out for. And at 10-1, as you have mentioned, he's some decent value. Best of the draws. He's a bit of an in and out sort, which is a concern. But he did run a decent race last time out behind Lataba, as you mentioned, fastest to finish. I think the 1400 will suit him nicely, especially from the best of the draws at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. He's 6 runs over the distance for 2 wins, 1 second and 1 fourth. So he has good form over the distance. Ultimately, his best form is over 1400. So I think Final Destiny is definitely the value in the race at 10-1. But the race doesn't stop there. A horse like Cavalieri, who quickened nicely last time out to be beaten behind Lataba. That was at Hollywoodbets Greyville. It was his first run after a lengthy layoff. And he's been given 80 days off the track and he returns once again. The MJ Odendal yard did have a winner just last week with Calvin Habib in the irons. And I think Cavalieri must be included as well.
Cavalieri, you're quite right. I'm glad you mentioned him, but he hasn't won for 1,032 days. Although we saw a horse win at Hollywoodbets Greyville the other day that hadn't won for longer and had a rest of 500 and something odd days, and that won. So hard to predict. But yes, number 2, Cavalieri, certainly has got to have a chance. Let's talk about Grey Ocean. Grey Ocean's making us wait for his next win.
He certainly is, but he's come into form nicely. He's had 2 runs on the poly track in his last 2 starts, and both decent runs, beaten 5th behind Chara Sands and 3rd behind Techno Savvy. He's drawn neatly now with Warren Kennedy in the irons. 1400, I'm not quite sure if it actually does suit him, but we'll see how he does go. He has had 1 place, and that was last time out over this trip. And I think he could be a runner if he does enjoy the trip, the 1400 meter trip. Techno Savvy, do you think he could win again?
Yeah, he could. He's not my first choice, but he certainly could. I'll include him in all my bets for Stephen Chetty and the Govinsamy family. But he took a long time to win again, but he did. He won beating Runaway Song. He could follow up, but I'm on the fence with Techno Savvy. What do you think of Double Martini, Sean Terry's horse? Because Keegan DeMello won on him last time, and Keegan DeMello retains the ride. That's always a positive sign.
Certainly, and Keegan DeMello, if I'm not mistaken, he did say that, this horse is a decent sort, and maybe watch him in the province. He could get his fair share of victories. So Double Martini, certainly one to keep a close eye on, and he has been priced up as the early favourite at around 3-1 in the market. And then just one more runner that I want to get your thoughts on, Warren. That's horse number 14, National Unity. Now, he beat Lady Serena last time out with Keegan DeMello in the irons at Hollywoodbets Greyville on the 3rd of March. So he does return from a bit of a break, 3 months off the track, and he is drawn wide. But do you think he could get a shout in this lineup?
He certainly could. It's not going to be easy from the deepest draw of all. But Keegan DeMella, as you mentioned, he did win on National Unity last time, and he's now sticking with the ride on Double Martini. So that must tell a story. But to answer your question, yes, National Unity certainly can win again, but the draw is obviously a concern. I have seen horses win from deep draws, but a deep draw is a deep draw, and it obviously is a natural concern. But that is enough for race 5, a very, very difficult race. I think the parting shot can be that, you know, it's a difficult race where we try and include as many as we can, but we both like Final Destiny as a bit of a value selection.
Absolutely, Warren. I think 10-1 is the generous price about the Garth Puller runner from the best of the draws, and he'll be our each-way play in race number 5.
The betting, the not so much anymore, is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.